Hello everyone, welcome back to a new HarstemCast today. In the top right, spawning as the blue terran, playing for Team Shopify Rebellion. The man, the myth, the legend. It is Byun. He's back. Look at that. Oh man, it's great. I love it. Oh no. And the bottom left spawning as the red Zerg player, playing for Team NV. Going to be DRG. He also has our man spinning around this around this hatchery. We're going to be seeing a little bit of a ZVT here on Jagannatha, which is considered to be one of the better Zerg maps, especially in the current map pool. If you think of the current map pool with Blackburn, Oxide, maps like Beckett, all of these maps are very, very good for Terran. And you have a map like Lightshade, which is considered good for Zerg, but tends to be one of the earlier vetoes for the Terrans. Usually we don't actually see any, like, maybe we see Jagannatha played, but we don't see too many good Zerg maps played in the current map pool. There's just not that many good Zerg maps in the current map pool. You'll see a map like Romanticide, you know? Not necessarily great for Zerg, but also not the worst map. Like, definitely playable, and very often on that type of map you'll see that indeed the best player does win. And a map like Blackburn, Oxide, Beckett, these maps are so difficult for Zerg, and very often, no matter how good the Zerg is, they'll just struggle to get any footing in the game. Of course, Jagannatha against Byun is not going to be fun here for Dong Le Gu, who I just like him, you know? DRG, for the people that don't know, DRG or Dong Le Gu or Dong Le Gu, however you want to pronounce it, he was a champion, you know, back in the day, a long time ago. He was really, really good. Fast Zerg player, not even that aggressive, like pretty macro focused, which was rare. I mean, if you look back at some of the older stuff from 2010, 2011, a lot of people were just 2 base all-inning or like 1 base all-inning, even if they didn't think it was all-in. Like, you look back at it, it's like, holy crap, no one played macro. But DRG in my head always was one of those guys that actually did play a macro game, you know? He did play with a pretty heavy focus on building drones as well. So it's yeah, it's just cool to see that he did his military service, came back, and he isn't the champion of old, okay? I'll admit to that. He's not the guy that's winning tournaments right now, but he's putting on performances and he's actually improving. Like, he's getting better, you know? So sometimes you see him play, it's like, I wonder how much more is there. But I think I hope he can just come back, and perhaps in the next season of the GSL, perhaps I'm not sure if he's playing in the Super Tournament too, actually. I should probably check that out. But yeah, I just hope that he can come back and do something cool. This is a really fun build, by the way. This is a this is off 2 base here. Wow, this is a double factory Blue Flame Hellion opener. Now, we saw, the first time I saw, well, not this specific build, but a build that was pretty similar to this was, well, obviously Blue Flame Hellion builds have been around forever, but recently kind of make its way back, was Innovation versus Rainer on Death Aura. And I can't for the love of me remember what tournament they played it in. I think it might have been Last Chance tournament in January earlier this year. Back then it was played from a triple CC, there was a starport added as well, so I guess it's a completely different build. I'm not even sure why I made the comparison. You know what, let's just go back to talking about DRG in 2012, because this is useless. Yeah, this is a completely different build. I mean, the only real thing it has in common is that there's 2 factories producing aliens, but that build had a 30C, it had a starport for dropping. Very different. This is pretty committed out of Byun, actually. Also, it's gonna hit like a freaking like a rock, like a bunch of bricks. Look at this. How many cars is this? This is 7 cars. Bailing Nest is way too late. What's the queen count? We're at 5 currently. Oh man, he has no clue about this. Infernal Pre-Igniter just finished up. I'm saying, if you get 14 workers with this, it's probably worth it. Okay? I think he's gonna get 14 workers with this. I just have a... Oh, he's gonna get more than 14 workers with this. Oh, this is the first time that DRG is going to see the blue flame. He's gonna immediately lose all of his links. Nice Evo block here. He will be... Ooh, this is good micro. He's going to be able to walk all around. Man, this is beautiful defense. Oh, what a beautiful defense. That was so well done. Now he has links here at the third as well. These 3 cars won't be able to do too much. These cars are gonna... Oh my god. Oh, these 3 might still be able to get as many workers as the other 12 cars. No, okay. 8 workers total. He did build slightly too many links. We'll see. Actually 12 links left over. Okay, 18. 6 too many links. So perhaps he could have had 3 extra drones, but this defense was fabulous. And you might think, well, his drone count isn't all that hot either. That's true. But right now DRG knows, like, hey, I can actually relax for a bit. I don't need to do much of anything. You know, he can just sit back and relax. He can just sit back and relax. He can drone up to whatever drone count he wants. 75. Can he even get to 80? I don't think he can get to 80, but the next push that Byun is going to be doing is going to hit so late. Look at the marine count. He currently has 5. His starport isn't even done yet. Continues building Hellions as well. So I guess DRG needs to be semi-careful that he doesn't lose to like a secondary run by. It is still something of a possibility, I guess, but he can focus so much on creep spread right now. Oh, here come the cars. Are they actually going to be moving in now? They're just going to scan for creep. This does give a warning to DRG, like, hey, there's still some cars remaining. Ooh, he's going to go first round? There's no way. No shot, buddy. Oh, actually, yes shot. I guess that one redoes the creep. It's not the worst thing in the world for DRG. I kind of like his position. 65 workers. He's building 24 links already. I think he's kind of misreading his position. There could have been 12 more drones to saturate this fourth base. He does not really need any units yet. You can see medevacts haven't even started yet. So definitely a big misread here out of DRG. It's actually kind of painful. That cost him a lot of economy right there. Oh, he continues building links. Maybe he wants to do a 1-1 all in. Oh, his 1-1 is so far away. He's gonna go for a big run by. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not gonna lie. So the reason I'm not a fan of it is usually I like these run bys, but there's still 5 cars, 6 cars alive with Blue Flame Hellion. So any type of run by you're gonna do, I mean, shouldn't really do anything. This would have been much better used as 12, 13 more workers. He would have been at 75 at this point, looking to taking a 5th base. Don't get me wrong, he's still ahead. He's in a good position, but I think he could have actually had this game be completely over had he built those extra workers. Now we see he's playing off of 4 gas, so it's going to be a heavy Link Bane focus army composition. Perhaps we'll see a 5th gas at some point and see a Hydra then go down. Drilling Claws has finished up, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see a couple of mine drops heading out. This is probably the first of many, and this is the... Well, maybe this is the first of many, and this is the second of many. Depends who hits first. Leaving the base not important. Okay, this is the first of many. Look at this guy. He's gonna go in, he's gonna drop these. Now sees, hey, there's a lot of drones here. That's nice. We'll be able to burrow here. Pretty decent micro. Oh, Byun's gonna go back. Throwing him for a loop. 3 workers have gone down in total already. Oh, I missed that. 7 more workers go down due to this 1 mine. 1 worker went down in the natural as well, so a lot of damage being done right now. You see that worker count is just not increasing. 26 more links on the way, and all of a sudden the game looks kind of equal here, which is not great. And this is that big investment into that link run by that ends up doing absolutely nothing because his opponent never really moved out. So I mean, it's something you can expect if they open double factory, that they'll follow up with Drilling Claws mine, right? They have the double factory, they have the tech lab on the factory as well. It just makes complete sense. Good mine splits. Oh, that was so beautiful. This is one of those things where you'll look at it and you go like, okay, like, of course that's what he's supposed to do. But there's a lot of Terrans that would have just burrowed those 3 mines together, would have lost them to 3 banes and only got like a single shot in. Like, such a huge difference, such a small little maneuver and helps him so much. Good run by nonetheless though here for DRG. He's finally getting some damage done, but still too low on the drone count. As his 5th base up and running, needs to be thinking of drone counts closer to 80 at this point. He's not ambitious enough. He's not ambitious enough, he needs more money. Doesn't want to ask for a raise, but he definitely does deserve one and he needs it as well. There's a struggling Zerg family at home. There's a lot of gas in the bank, by the way, but Infestation Pit also relatively late. Second carapace upgrade hasn't even started yet. Yeah, okay, this drone count, I feel like DRG should have had 3 minutes ago almost. I really think he made some massive errors in how he thought that the game was going to go and how the game actually ended up going. Now we have a mine shot on that queen, is not going to be able to get the shot off. In the main base we have 4 mines. Okay, 1 mine forgets the burrow, second mine doesn't forget the burrow. Gonna take out the Hydra, good micro out of DRG, loses 6 workers for, what is it, 3-4 mines? Yeah, 3 mines, there's 1 more mine remaining. Of course also loses a bunch of mining time, so these type of moves rarely are bad. I mean, it's not ideal, but 6 workers, 3 mineral line pools. I think he also killed a Hydra, so... I mean, worst case scenario is winning some time, right? This is keeping DRG very, very busy. DRG is fast. Look at that. 800 current APM. Yeah, it's quick, man. Oh, he's gonna be able to catch this. That's kind of big. Yeah, if you don't force away 2 mineral lines, then obviously this isn't quite as great. I feel like DRG really wants some Vipers at this point, you know? Just waiting for that. It's like, man, if only I had something to kill air with, some type of anti-air in the dead space. This is very often a problem for Zerg. Things like prisms and just Medivacs idling in dead space, so difficult to deal with. Byun is playing relatively passive from what we're used to see from him. Is that his 3rd factory? Yeah, that's his 3rd factory. He's actually looking to go into triple tank production already. So he's anticipating the lurker like a good boy. I mean, he's seen the Hydras. He's played against plenty of Zergs lately, I bet, that have been going these lurkers. We have +1 range upgrades coming out of DRG as well. And here comes Byun, finally on the map. I have to admit the creep spread, a little bit lacking, isn't it, guys? A little bit lacking here, the creep spread. I wouldn't mind some extra tumors already. I mean, it's not like a lot has happened on the map. We haven't really seen a lot of creep tonight. We've seen some mines in Medivacs being sent out, but the creep looks... I mean, it's here, you know. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not saying I would have done it better, but I still feel like we definitely would have been capable of getting on these little cliffs. That would have been nice, you know. Maybe even push it up to here, like just 2-3 rows further up ahead is what I kind of had expected in a game that has been as slow as this one, where Byun is just trying to create the box art for the campaign. It feels like. You know, it makes me sad that in a couple of years, whenever I say things like box art, the Zoomers and the young ones won't know anymore what box art is, because they'll never have bought a game box. Like, they'll just always had digital copies of their game. I remember the first time I built a PC without a CD drive in it, and it just felt bad, you know? I remember the guy asking, do you want a CD drive? And I'm like, no, actually I don't. And he started crying and I started crying. He opened up a bottle of whiskey, which we then drank together in his computer shop for the next 6 hours. Talking about Windows 95 and 97. How much greater things were back then. I used to have this game actually on the first game I ever played. I remember the other day. It was, I think it was on, my dad had a Mac. And I think this game was on like a floppy disk or something like that. He only used it to type documents in for like some local newspaper. But there was a game there, and it was like a click and point adventure game, and you were a fat cat. Well, it wasn't really a click and point adventure game, like certain sequences were there. Like you could click in a tree, then you could go on the branch and things like that. If anyone knows what game I'm talking about, I would love you guys to link it in the comments, so I can watch it, send it to my brother. He also used to play it. I wonder if he still remembers it. Nothing much has happened, by the way, while I'm talking about my childhood stories when it comes to old computers. I think it was called a Mac. It's a really ugly computer as well. I want to say that you inserted the floppy disk straight into the screen. That it just was one machine, but I can't quite remember if that's true. That might have just been a memory that entered my head later on after seeing one of these pictures of these things online. But I'll ask my dad about it one of these days. Byun actually is not wanting to play a game. He's just sitting back. He's building ghosts. This map is great for turtling, by the way. I never quite realized that, but look at the defensive line he's built. Freaking built a planetary over here. What a prick. Actually, it doesn't have the high-sec auto-tracking yet, so this planetary isn't quite as resourceful as it perhaps could have been. The Banelicks are gonna be boom, puffing into that into that planetary. Why is there 2 turrets here? And more importantly, why did it work out? That is so... I love it when random stuff like this happens. You know, you have these 2 random turrets and then they get a kill of an overseer that tried to put a nidus in the natural or something like that. That's kind of sick. I like that. If you also like that, nice. Another mutual interest. So DRG right now, okay, so what DRG is doing is he's basically looking to take bases of his opponent. DRG is really, he has a pretty big brain, okay? I'm not sure how big it is. You can actually measure the size of your brain by putting a ruler over your forehead. Oh, big engagement. This can't be it, right? There's no way. There's no Vipers with this army. He actually hasn't built a single lurker yet, which kind of surprised me. He's just sticking with Hydra Bane. I wouldn't mind a Brute Lord switch, and I think DRG is thinking the same thing. In these type of scenarios, often Brute Lord switches are the only thing that trades semi-efficiently. Now what I was gonna say is that DRG wants to take at least 1 base of his opponent, but it's going to be so difficult here, and the reason for that is not because Byun is going to be capable of taking these bases, but he's going to be capable of denying these bases. So this base and this base are so difficult to take for DRG because they're only 1 base removed from any base of their opponent, and it's all pretty close in proximity. So if he takes this base, you can just send a couple of units over, like a tank here. Well, this base, I mean, it's so obvious, like you just literally move forward half an inch. Like, it feels almost impossible on this map for the Zerg to take bases of your opponent once you get this setup as a Terran. You have a new planetary. I wouldn't even mind a planetary in this location. You have like 2 central areas where it's just going to be very difficult. And by the way, this looks... It's so funny because this looks kind of easy to play as a Terran, right? Like you have a bunch of tanks set up, you move around with your ghost, like you have snipe on rapid fire, and the moment you see something of your opponent, you just snipe it. But these type of games are actually really tricky to play, and I'm not even joking, like, it's really difficult to turtle well, okay? And if you have never played Terran, you will not realize this, but it's actually the case. Like, it ain't easy. And with sensor towers do make the job a little bit easier. Love this setup, by the way, all on the high ground. Byun knows, you know, he's so patient. He knows he doesn't give a crap about taking bases. He just cares about his opponent not taking these bases. That's literally all he wants. Is he killing his own workers right now, or what's happening? I wouldn't mind it. 8 orbitals after all. I mean, with 8 orbitals you can get a lot done. You don't need as many workers. Yeah, he's just sacrificing. I always feel like it's a mistake. If you have the time, like in a slow game like this, you can just kill them yourself. Never want to give your opponent more info than he already has, especially not for free. Finally have that Greater Spire on the way. So, I mean, what we're gonna see right now is, I think DRG is realizing, or starting to realize, hey, I'm never going to be able to take these 2 bases. So what I need to do is I need to deny one of these bases for him. Like, if he can make it so that this base or this base never gets taken, that would still be a net positive for DRG. And jeez, I'm not sure if that would be enough even. I think he's actually gonna need to take a base or deny 2 bases. With how the trades have been going so far, and how I think the trades will continue going throughout the game, there's no way, right? Does he turn this into a planetary? No shot. He actually does turn it into a planetary. I like that. I said that before, guys. The calls were correct. It's like these 2 central areas, and this is gonna turn into an orbital, and it's probably gonna wanna push there eventually. He is semi starting to mine out. On at least some of the bases. He's gonna keep 2 bases alive. I'm wondering why he isn't muling. He's just saving all of his energy on some of these orbitals. His main orbital had a crap ton as well as natural. I think he has like legit like 14 mules ready, but I guess he wants to use everything on scans for now. A couple of good snipes coming in. Queens are gonna get taken out. I mean, this is just trading energy for money, which is generally a good trade. Oh, there go the ghost. Very dangerous move out here out of Byun, seemingly so. Planetary gets taken out, and we see unit loss tap. 9,000 in favor of Byun. Let's keep an eye on that as well. I'm surprised that we haven't seen another attempt at this base. I feel like Byun hasn't checked out this base in a while. I guess with the sensor tower you don't really even need to check it out because you'll just see once it starts mining. A couple of creep tumors are gonna get denied here. Lurkers are moving forward. Planetary is gonna be very, very helpful though. 6 more workers are going down, and every worker that goes down increases the army size of Byun. 15 tanks, 15 ghosts, 3 Vikings, 5 liberators is the core of that army, and then having some loose bio. This is here to deal with any potential knight. This is, oh my god, he needs to be careful. He needs to be very, very careful. That was really close. DRG is just poking. He's looking for damage, but every time he does that, he loses a little bit. He needs to be careful there. Just need to be careful. Good snipes. Once again, he's gonna go for it. Gets a semi-surround single. Last overseer is gonna go down, and DRG is still looking at that denial of this base. The creep is going to be so important here. Creep on the right side is also important, at perhaps denying that base. Don't forget the gas count actually isn't that high. How much gas do we have left there? We have 3k gas in these. We have about 1200 gas in these. And what? 100. So 3k, 1200. And this is like 700 total. That's like what? 5 point or maybe 6k gas. Almost 6k gas. Is that? No. That's not. No. It's 4.8. 4.8k gas remaining on these bases. Which, I mean, is gonna give him plenty of army. But I think DRG's bank is big enough that if this 6th base doesn't get taken relatively soon, I actually think Byun might be in a little bit of trouble. We have another push forward in here. These banelings... What? Sees the ghost and the marine standing next to each other. I say, oh, that looks pretty sick. It's like if you get the pick in a game show between like a goat and a $5 million home, and you go, no, I like the goat. It's like, buddy, you could sell your home and buy like 1 million goats with that. You're like, no, I like this goat in particular. It's like, alright. Guess love doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes. Double Knight is going down into the main base, and when I say going down, I really do mean going down as in the literal sense. These Marines and Marauders are doing a great job at that. And this is the 3rd base. If this 3rd base would get destroyed, that would be a little bit of a problem, of course, because that opens up the possibility of running in air. Even this planetary going down would be kind of bad. It would really suck. I like this. I like this. The sensor tower has disappeared, and it means that Byun's not going to be aware of that base mining. But the problem is he's gonna need to fully mine this in order for it to be an okay-ish game. I really think, okay, he's gonna go to try and break this again. I like this. The reason I like this, the moment he breaks this, he gets this base. If he can break this, he gets the base. He's gonna go again, he gets the planetary, gets the tanks. This 3rd base needs to go, this siege position needs to go. You can't just let it say, these are painful engagements, by the way. 12,000 in the minus already. Don't forget, 1 base over your opponent is going to be so massive. Base has been spotted now. Sensor tower went back up, yeah. That's an issue. This is why this base needed to go already. This base just so desperately needed to go down. I mean, that tank should be in range, right? Oh, here come the ghost, here come the ghost, here come the ghost. Ghost not really doing much of anything, honestly. Single tank ends up going down. Couple of snipes all being cancelled. Meh. Not it. It's moving forward further into tank range. Not sure if that's the play. We just had 17 Corruptors being built, and those bad boys morph into 12 Broodlords, and those guys morph in... No. This is the end evolution. It's the Raichu of Zerg units. The first unit's already pretty decent. The second unit is sick. Raichu. This Pokemon I never actually saw. I have Pokemon Silver. I think there was a Raichu, like the guy in the cave at the end, Mount Silver. I think he had like a level 81 Raichu or something like that. Yeah, that's weird, because it was called Red. What is it? Hello? Why isn't he firing? Does he have hold fire? He had hold fire. What? Hello? Maybe move the overseers? They were in observer mode, so they saw it coming, but... yeah, that's right. I think he was on hold fire. Oh, weird move. Here come the Broodies, though. Broodies moving in. A couple of snipes going down. Good fungals as well coming down here. So a lot of these ghosts are actually gonna go down. Did we see Parasitic Bomb? Not yet. This is the first fight where I'm like, hey, this fight is actually... He's trading well here. There's no Vikings here. 3 Thors on the way right now. A lot of ghosts went down. 9 ghosts are still remaining. 16 Corruptors might be a little bit much here. I much would have preferred more Broodlords being added on. Perhaps getting a couple more Infestors as well. A lot of these Infestors are very low energy. Why aren't it... What a massive error here out of DRG. Once again, he just needs to mine this base. He needs to send all of his workers there. Like, this base should be mining with 35 workers. I don't care. Like, you want maximum saturation here, because this is the base. You can take every mineral you steal from here is a mineral your opponent won't get. And all the other bases you're gonna get eventually anyway. Why aren't you building 10 spores here? What is he doing? He needs to mine this. He needs to secure this base with more spores, with a better setup. And he's just not doing it, and it's pissing me off. He has 61 workers. It would even be better to just give up the mining on this base, but he has... Look, he's mining with 10 workers from one patch. No, why is he moving to the left side? You have the right side base, all you need to do is defend it. Am I completely wrong here? It is possible that my understanding of this situation is incorrect, but... No, I don't think it was. And I think right now DRG is realizing that, like, wait a second. I had such a good position. I'm gonna try to move forward. It's not really gonna work out. A couple of Broodlords are gonna get sniped. Yeah, if you're moving with Broodlords, they're generally quite weak. We have another Fungal gonna go down. Good EMPs hitting as well. One more Fungal. Medevac's putting in so much work, by the way, but... Crap ton of Broodlords died there. 18,000 in the minus right here for DRG. He has a lot of larvae available. It feels like he just doesn't quite know what he wants to use those larvae on. 64 links is the answer. I think he already should have had some of those with him. I'm not sure why he had so many Corruptors with his army when there really wasn't that much anti-air. It's like 3 Vikings and the Liberators, but I mean, how much do you care? 2 Overseers are gonna go down. Those are the 2 that didn't get hit by the nuke earlier. Yeah, now this base is gonna get taken out. And now... These trades are bad, but they don't matter if you take your opponent's base. Or they don't matter, they're not as important. I'll go for this base, but it's just too late. This base has already been mined a lot from. Even if you do end up getting this base, which I don't think he's gonna get. Oh my god. Oh, I think DRG had a really winning position here when he had that right side base, and now he's just throwing it all away. Ah, there's a nice Infestor count. He has 14, but only a single Broodlord. 12 more Broodlords on the way. 12 Corruptors are coming out as well. I don't think Byun is quite gonna give him the time though. He's moving forward. He's moving forward with his 4 Thors, his Ghost, his Marines, his Marauder. Literally singular Marauder. 40 SCVs against 51 workers, meaning the army size of Byun is absolutely massive. The size of this guy, guys. Bananas. Planetaries still in the back, of course. Liberators chilling in the back as well. It is a largely ghost poor army. A couple of lips to help clean up anything on the ground. God, I'm pretty pissed, honestly. This potentially could have been a really sick game, but I think now Byun kind of owned himself. Or sorry, DRG kind of owned himself. We're gonna see some Liberator harass here, gonna be capable of taking out maybe 2. Oh yeah, guess he's gonna get 4 eventually. Up, pop. Oh no, the Infestor attack. The sickest thing is that how close the gas count was to being empty, right? We still had some gas here, but this gas was running empty. Look how little gas. If he doesn't get this gas, he literally only has like 3.5k more gas this game. And all that gas goes to DRG. And all of that money goes to DRG. And then you don't even really need to trade well against all these minerals. So the resources lost doesn't even matter too much, because a lot of that for Zerg is going to be lost minerals. But the Terran can't really build an army with minerals that scales well into the late game, because it's just Marines or Hellions. Good. Oh my god, these are good blinding guns. This is a fantastic fight, by the way. Holy crap. This is a great start of a fight. Brood Lords are pushing in. Single Thors trying to do some damage. There's 2 Thors in the back that aren't really doing much of anything either. Good neural parasites. This is a great fight here for DRG. If he's focused at just one fight, he can fight so freaking well. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Couple more snipes. No more snipes going down. He just doesn't have the tools to... No, wait, he can remax. Why isn't he... Okay, 24. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. What a close game. I know this doesn't look close because there's still a 3.5k bank, but this is 200 gas. This is 200 gas, and he only has that gas because he managed to take this base. I really believe that DRG made a massive error moving towards the left side with his main army. Not only did he lose his entire army into the ghost while he was moving, he also gave up this super valuable position, which, in my opinion, was the only road to victory for him. But he decided to take an alternative route, and apparently that one did not lead to Rome. You know, people always say all roads lead to Rome. This one didn't, at least not for DRG. That's going to be it for today. If you did enjoy this video game, don't forget to smash the like button. Make it blue, boys. I saw another YouTuber say that. Make the thumbs up blue. So do that. Go make it blue. And I hope to see you all for more video games in the future. If you're a video gamer yourself, leave it down in the comment down below. Say that you love video games. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.